everyone, I'm Book BFF Melissa from Harley Bear Book Blog, and today's discussion topic is kick-ass heroines. I feel like this is a really hard topic. There's just so many good characters out there, and I feel like ever since like the dystopia fantasy genres have gotten popular, there's just too many good kick-ass heroines to pick from. So instead I started looking at characteristics of these heroines, and then I chose from there. So I'm going to do 5 characteristics of a kick-ass heroine and an example of each. The first characteristic is the character has to be smart and intelligent. So let's take a look at Hermione Granger from the Harry Potter series. Hermione is probably the smartest character I've ever read. She is not afraid to be the first kid into the class that sits in the front row, that always has their hand raised. She's not afraid to use her intellect to get what she wants. And on top of that, she's really ambitious, you know, with the time turner or whatever. She takes on a lot of classes. But there's also another kind of smart and intelligent quality that I like in a kick-ass heroine. They don't do everything just for the guy or their love interest. So like, for example, if Ron broke up with Hermione, she wouldn't stop showering for 4 months and then jump off a cliff just to see his face. Bella. But anyway, yeah, basically she's smart. She doesn't need a guy to dictate her life, and she's just doing her thing. She's like the Beyonce of the book world, pretty much. Although I do wonder, if Hermione is really that smart, how come she never found a spell to fix her frizzy hair? Just saying. It also seems like a lot of characters these days are really strong. Physically, they all have some sort of skill, you know, like bow and arrow or throwing knives, you know. So the obvious choice for this characteristic that I chose, which is strength, would be Katniss Everdeen. She is like the epitome of strength. She can use her bow and arrow, she can defend herself against anyone, and that's really empowering for teens and, you know, even people in their 20s like me, just girls in general, to see a heroine that can defend herself and can keep up with the guys, because I feel like before the Hunger Games came out, that was kind of lacking in YA a little bit. But then on top of physical strength, there's also emotional strength. And I think that Katniss is a great example of this too. She is so strong on the inside. She stands up against her government. She volunteers basically to die for her sister. You know, I mean, if I was in her situation, I'd probably just sit under a tree and cry in the arena. Like, it just blew my mind that she was so strong, even when the government was trying to tear her down in the arena because they wanted a good show. And I think that that almost is even better than being physically strong. The next thing I like to see in a female character is independence. This kind of goes along with Hermione and not letting a guy dictate your life. The character that I chose that kind of embodies this is Jessica Darling from the Jessica Darling series, or Sloppy Firsts. In this story, Jessica has an admirer right off the bat, her friend from her childhood, Scotty, I believe his name is. And she doesn't just go out with him just because he's the first guy to look at her and bat his eyelashes. In the first book, Scotty is kind of like the jock. He's the popular kid at school, and they've been friends for a while, but she doesn't really like who he's become, and now that he likes her, you know, she kind of just says, no, I don't want to date you, even though that would make her parents happy. That would give her kind of like an in into the in crowd. She'd be popular. And she just says no. She says, you're not for me. And I thought that that was a really great characteristic for a female character these days. And then on top of that, she dates Marcus, who is kind of like the school joke almost. He's the class clown that everyone loves, but they kind of also like make fun of them behind their back. And she doesn't give in to him right away. She takes her time deciding if she wants to date this guy. He kind of bothers her in the beginning, and you know, but he does wear Backstreet Boys t-shirts, so I mean, it's kind of a win-win situation all around. Like, why wouldn't she be attracted to that, right? I also kind of thought this was interesting once I started looking at Jessica Darling's character. She kind of reminded me of Elizabeth Bennett from Pride and Prejudice. They're both very independent-minded. They do what they want. You know, everyone likes Mr. Darcy and thinks he's this great guy, and she's just like, no, excuse me, he's not that great. And even when he comes to her and is like, oh my god, I love you, she's like, no, sorry, you're beep. And then she goes on to date Mr. Wickham, who is, you know, not the greatest guy ever. But basically, she's just doing what she wants. The next quality I want to talk about is bravery. This could mean climbing up a Ferris wheel, having knives thrown at your face, or simply just not peeing your pants when somebody dangles you over a chasm of rushing water. You guessed it, I'm talking about Tris from Divergent. Tris is very brave. She laughs in the face of danger. Personally, I really wish I could do this. I'm one of those people that doesn't really like to take chances, and I sure as hell would not jump off of a building like she does in one of the first scenes. So I give her lots of credit for that. And the last quality that I think makes a perfect kick-ass heroine is humor. Whether it be snark or just witty comebacks, I love it. And it's probably why my favorite series is the Covenant series, because there's lots of humor. So my character that I chose for this characteristic is Alex from Half-Blood. She's really funny, and she sometimes can use humor as a shield if somebody's like verbally attacking her, or she will use it as a band-aid to kind of smooth over situations if the room is kind of tense. She'll use humor. And she also uses it as a weapon if she's trying to defend herself against somebody. She's got some really good comebacks, and sometimes the other characters are like, what? I was trying to find a quote from Half-Blood to show you what I mean, but it's just taking forever to find one. So that means you're going to have to go read the book for yourself. So like I said before, there's just too many good kick-ass main heroines. So I'm going to do a list of honorable mentions of some other characters that I thought were noteworthy and that you should check out. So now that I told you my favorite kick-ass heroines, I want you to tell me in the comment section who your favorites are. So thanks for watching, and don't forget to check back on June 11th to this YouTube channel for Angela's introduction and bookshelf tour. Bye guys, thanks for watching.